Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good to see you guys again. Another nice day of college basketball in the books last night. VIP lost, I don't know, probably like a half unit or whatnot. Wasn't a horrible night. Just a couple. You got to give Sean. I feel bad for Sean because Sean's been doing some really good work for us lately. 2 nights ago, he had Mercer with a 16-point lead in the first half. They blew that, and I think they were only laying one. Then last night, Sean has Wright State. I was on Wright State as well, but Sean did the write-up for it. Plus 4.5. I think they're up 21 in the first half. Ends up going to double overtime, and they don't even cover the 4.5. That was a hard one to take, but James Madison, Drake, Youngstown, all that stuff. I will say, guys, just briefly in general about just betting college basketball and stuff. Sometimes it's not always about like closing value and what the money is. I just wanted to repeat that because yesterday I came on here and I said I wanted to take South Dakota State against Boise State and the points against Florida Gulf Coast. As I started to do my write-ups and the VIP sheet, I saw that they were essentially public dogs, or the money was like super, super split, and it scared me off. I ended up doing a Boise State, San Diego money line parlay, and Boise State loses outright at home. So college basketball is absolutely back. It is what it is, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that, closing line value and stuff, it's cool. And all that stuff. But if you're not on the right side, stuff like that really doesn't matter. But yeah. Also, quick announcement. You guys, if you've followed me on here from last year or you heard me talking about this year, you always hear me talking about models and models. I was very lucky yesterday to talk from the guys from Shot Quality. So we're actually going to be on the Shot Quality team now. Essentially, I'm not pressing you to try to buy anything. I don't make any money if you guys buy their package or anything like that. It's not me pushing to sell it, but it is something that's a huge tool that I use on a daily basis. A lot of guys that I know use it on a daily basis. A lot of really cool tools. I'm going to start talking about it and show some more features about it. But if you do want to get involved, send me a DM or anything. I got some cool promo codes for you. If you guys want to get involved, but again, no pressure or anything like that. It's not like I said, we're not making money selling packages or anything like that. It's just we're here to get you to be a better gambler, to be better gamblers everywhere, to get more information. And that's a great source of information to get everything all together. So let's get into the slate today. Nothing crazy. Tomorrow we actually have some pretty decent games. But as far as today, some lower level teams. But let's get into it. Illinois State, Eastern Illinois on the docket for this first game up. I'm going to be laying it here with Illinois State. I'm not going to go super deep into it, but I will say that they're going to be eager to bounce back. They lost their opener, but at the same time, they are a so much better team than Eastern Illinois. If you pull up, I usually use the Shot Quality model. Shot Quality model has it 78-58, so a pretty decent lean on Illinois State. And if you take a look at some of the things that Illinois State is going to do offensively, really good with their shot selection, spacing, shot making. That's a place defensively. Eastern Illinois struggled. And then offensively for Eastern Illinois, in the 300s in almost every major category. It's really hard for them to score buckets. I think Illinois State has a pretty bad taste in their mouth from opening night. I think they flex their muscles tonight and cover this somewhat big number at 9.5 tonight against Eastern Illinois. Next game up, we got Radford and Notre Dame, and this is actually one of my more favorite games on the board. And the reason that I like it is because not only did I circle this as personally a spot that I wanted to bet Notre Dame, but again, like I said, talk about the model. Model has this game in our favor too. Model has this game 77-50 Notre Dame. Look, Notre Dame has always been pretty decent under Mike Brey, and then they kind of went in this kind of little of a lull for the last couple of seasons. But Mike Brey's got everybody coming back. Nate Lazinski, Dane Goodman, Trey Wirtz, what's his name? Cormac Ryan. I think that's how his name is. Cormac Ryan, Dane Goodman, all those guys. I think it was almost like 50 or 60% of the Notre Dame scoring. Those guys accounted for last year. They're all going to be back. Radford, on the other hand, actually defensively pretty good. Actually a top 60 defensive team last year, according to shot quality, actually 55 in the adjusted shot quality. But again, offensively is where I think they're going to really struggle again in the 300s in the major categories. The only thing that Radford did extremely well last year was hit open threes. They did that in like the top 30th percentile. So, Notre Dame isn't somebody that I actually think, though, that's going to give them a ton of open shots. I really like the Notre Dame defense, especially at home. I think Notre Dame rolls here today. 19's a big number, but I will say this, out of the, 15 plays that we've had, all the big numbers that we've laid, Sean and I have laid, have all covered. So I truly, not at this time of the year, I really don't have a problem laying it with Notre Dame here, so I'm all over them. Notre Dame minus the large number for me. Next game up, we've got Townsend and UMass, another mid-major thing. Look, Townsend was one of those teams last year that I thought that maybe, when I say a run for a Townsend team, I'm thinking maybe second weekend, win a game or two in the NCAA tournament. Didn't get all the way there last year, but they had a net ranking of 71. They bring 4 starters back from that team last year. You can keep in mind that team went 25-9. They were the preseason pick to win the Colonial. They opened up, they played Albany in their first game. They looked pretty decent in the first half, and then they actually kind of collapsed in the second half. They ended up winning the game. But again, one of those situations where I was looking to play on a team like Townsend, who I think is going to be good this year, and didn't look great their first time. So situationally, a spot that I like. If we go back over to the model that we always look at, model has it 75-70 Townsend. Defensively, UMass should really struggle. And actually, Townsend offensively and defensively and adjusted shot quality pretty damn well. The only thing that Townsend really struggles with defensively is shooting the 3-ball, but at the same time, UMass isn't a team that's really going to defend the 3-ball really well and actually gives up a lot of really good shots to their opponents. So I think that we get a focused Townsend team after the crap second half that they played a couple days ago. And I think that we get them at +1, -1. I know it's going to vary at whatever book you get it at. But I either way, I think Townsend wins today. Excuse me. Next game up, we got Western Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky. One of those things where I kind of let the model talk to me for this one. Pretty decent lean on Western Kentucky. They got it Western Kentucky 85, Eastern Kentucky 73. Western Kentucky, another one of those teams, very similar to Notre Dame, bringing back a lot of guys, bringing back 4 starters, 70% of their scoring, 70% of their rebounding, 84% of their total shots blocked. So a lot of positive things that come back from Western Kentucky. A lot of those guys like Jamarian Sharp, who was their defensive anchor. I'm pretty sure he was the defensive player of the year last year as well. Coming over here in the portal for Western Kentucky. So again, I trust the model. Western Kentucky was a team I kind of had circle in their conference anyway. So at -2 with such a huge lean from the model, I'm all over Western Kentucky today at the small price. Oklahoma State and Southern Illinois. And I guess this kind of somewhat of a theme of today's show, I guess, is that motivation. Look, Oklahoma State is one of those teams that Coach Mike Boynton has been kind of bit in the butt a little bit with things that had happened. I think back in 2017 or whatever it was, with some program things. So they couldn't go to the NCAA tournament and stuff. But again, those guys have been, Oklahoma State has been a nuisance in the Big 12 the last couple of years. Now here they are, their first season without any sanctions, without anything over the top of their head. I just think that this is a spot where Oklahoma tries to flex their muscles. SIU is a team that's probably going to be decent in their conference, but the MVC is nothing compared to the Big 12. I think this is a huge, huge step up in class for them. I think this is a redemption season for Oklahoma State. I mean, this is one of those teams that they're going to have 9 guys that all going to know their roles. They're going to play double-digit defense. I think this is a smash spot for Oklahoma State, and anything laying Oklahoma State, anything under double digits, I'd play this all the way up to 9.5. I absolutely love the Cowboys tonight. I think that's it for us today. Obviously, it's a quick show with only 5. As the season goes on, I'm going to bring on probably a couple guests, whether it be a couple writers to talk about certain teams and whatnot. So if you got questions, comments, or anything like that, put them in the comments, DM me or whatever. We'll try to get them answered for you. We just like talking basketball. So the more questions, more comments and stuff like that, the better. I'm going to get Sean on some of these lives as well. Tomorrow we got Gonzaga, Michigan State on the aircraft carrier. Basketball is here, people. Basketball is here. I know today some of these games and yesterday none of these high-class schools, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Talk to you guys then. I love it.